Welcome back to the Eddie Express DFS podcast presented to you by Draftdashboard. As always, I will leave my link in the description below and in the comment section below. You can try all these tools that I'm using 30 days for $1. We were down a little bit yesterday, but only a fraction. We're gonna play the same. We're gonna play the same tournament that we played yesterday. We're gonna max out the 20 max $1 tournament and the 20 max $4 tournament on DraftKings. So we'll be in it for $100 today. We'll see how we do. We got the bankroll to do so. So we're gonna play that until we get beat up by it. So it's a fun tournament. Really helps you leverage against the field because you only have to make 20 lineups opposed to like 150 if you're max entering tournaments. Makes it easier for me. Here's a cheat sheet. We'll get into the position optimizer quick. Position optimizer. Russell Westbrook against Utah. Bad matchup, but he's triple-doubled 10 straight games, so we'll have a little bit of him. Not my favorite play, but I still like him quite a bit. Kemba against the Wizards I like quite a bit, especially because his projection isn't that high. Wizards really struggle defensively. Kemba gets a lot of the usage here. I think Kemba makes for a really good option I don't know what his ownership is going to be right this second, but I don't think it's going to be very high. So I like Kemba Walker quite a bit today. For value, Jeff Teague. I think people are going to shy away from this one a little bit, but he's got a really nice price tag. He's 5,900. He's got a projection of 5x. He's got a 100 rank against the Knicks. I think people are going to shy away from this one because the Timberwolves are finally healthy. But if he plays, anywhere from 32 to 35 minutes, he should easily get value here. I just think he's too cheap. People are going to shy away from this one, though, because Jones, Rose, Bayless, all those guys are healthy. So I think that some people are going to kind of shy away from Jeff Teague today. Rubio is not my favorite play. He's grading out really well, but I don't think I'm going to include him as of right now. Darren Collison I like quite a bit. Tyreek Evans is doubtful for this game. Miles Turner is questionable. I just think he might get a usage bump with either of those players missing. Great matchup against New Orleans, really bad against guards. High pace game. Really good spot for Darren Collison tonight. Not the most exciting player in the world, but makes for an interesting play. But he's never too flashy with this. He's not a guy that's going to get you 50. He's not a guy that's going to get you 20. He's going to get you somewhere in between, 20, 25 to 35. That's what you get from Collison. So just hope it's a 35er. That'll go a long way for you. Reggie Jackson's really interesting. I hate this dude, but he makes your lineups. You can build lineups pretty easily around him. It's a super pace-up spot for Detroit because he's got shooting guard eligibility, and the shooting guards are not very good on this slate. Worst team defense, worst against the position. It's a huge pace-up spot. Love me some Reggie Jackson today. Drew Holiday we're going to exclude. He's getting a minutes restriction, or his minutes will be limited along with Anthony Davis. So until we can really see what those guys' minutes are going to be like, I don't really think they're playable. They kind of hinted that Anthony Davis would be about 25 minutes for the rest of the year, and Drew Holiday's would be limited more. He was playing in the 39 range. It could mean he plays 27. It could mean he plays 32. But until we know, he's really hard to roster. So I'm going to stay away from the Pelicans for the next couple days until we see what we get. Chris Dunn I'm going to include. I like Chris Dunn quite a bit, almost every day. Not the greatest matchup in the world, but it's kind of a neutral pace game. Versus Orlando, he hasn't done all that well. He's questionable, but if he plays, I might have a sprinkle of him. In the dumpster down here, not anybody that I'm really willing to grab. just don't trust any of these guys down here with any volatility. So I'm good down here. We'll go on over to shooting guard. Shooting guard, I'm not a huge fan of Bradley Beal today, even though he grades out really well, because Tomas Satoransky is back, and I really think that hurts him. His expected assists are going to go way down. He was a pretty good play when Satoransky was out because he was running the point and getting all the assists, and he's Bradley Beal. We'll include him. We'll probably get him in a lineup or two, but I'm not real excited about it. Player I am excited to play today is DeMar DeRozan. Great price tag. He's had 10 days off, so he's super fresh. He was battling an ankle injury prior to the break, but he hasn't played a basketball game in 10 days. He's got a good matchup against Toronto. They struggle against the position. He roasted Toronto last time. It's a revenge game narrative. Love me some DeMar DeRozan today with a over 5x projection. Another player that I like is Jeremy Lamb. Again, against Washington, this is going to be a high-scoring game. Ball's going to be put in the bucket. Lamb is a pure scorer. He's very scoring dependent. If he scores over 20 points, he's going to hit value. If he doesn't, then he's not going to come close to it. So he's a scoring dependent guy, but I do like him. Interesting punt play would be Luke Kennard. He's expected to play. If he starts, he'll probably play like 32 minutes. He's dirt cheap. He's not a good basketball player, but at 4K, if he plays 32 minutes, just existing on the floor should be enough to hit value, and a super great matchup for them against Atlanta. Donovan Mitchell, no thank you. Just too pricey at that price point. Lou Williams, not for me against Memphis. Anybody else we like down here? I think I'm good on the dumpsters down here too. No one really stands out to me. Alrighty, let's get into small forward. Small forward, I like Aaron Gordon. I seem to like him every day. His price is just too cheap. At almost 5.5x value. Ranks out really well. He should be fresh off the break. He's got kind of a weird minutes thing going on. Sometimes he plays a lot more, sometimes he doesn't. So we'll include him. Bogdanovich, we like the Pacers side of this game quite a bit against New Orleans. Good three-point shooter, something that New Orleans really struggles with. Tyreek Evans being out could even mean more usage for Bojan Bogdanovich. Interesting value play here. Kent Bazemore with Herter being doubtful, and I don't know. I think he's going to play about 27 minutes with the injuries being out. They're in active tank mode, though. He makes for a really good play to open up your lineups, just because he frees up so much salary relief. So I'll have a sprinkle of him. I won't have a ton of them, but he does have a 6x projection, which is really good. We'll have a little bit of Bazemore, but his minutes have been kind of all over the place, so it's kind of concerning. It's not something I would load up on, but he does make for an interesting punt play on both DraftKings and FanDuel. If you're playing FanDuel, a low score drop like Bazemore really makes quite a bit of sense. Doncic will include just because he's become one of my favorite players. This dude just does everything. He's like 19 years old. He's a funny dude he's just a really likable guy. I never really have that much of him, but I'm coming on board for Doncic lately. 53 last time out against Denver. He's been hovering in the 45 to 50 range lately. Got a nice little break with the All-Star. Like him quite a bit. Alrighty, let's transition to Kawhi. Do I want to include Kawhi? We'll include Kawhi, but I don't expect to get him much. I'm going to get a lineup or two of Kawhi. Power forward, this is where we're going to make our moves. We're going to go with Blake Griffin. He's probably my favorite play on the slate. Great matchup. This guy facilitates so much for this team. He gets rebounds, just does everything. Really like Blake Griffin today. Last couple times out, he's been playing really good basketball. Against Atlanta, not in particularly all that great, but we're going to trust the player on this one. Julius Randle will include because I think his minutes could be boosted up with Anthony Davis's being limited. So we'll have a sprinkle of Julius Randle. I'm not really excited to play any Pelicans today. Just really not that great. Not that great of information when we don't know what the rotation's going to look like. So be careful with that one. Bobby Portis, I don't see any upside in his number at 6,200. He's got to get you. He's got to basically get you 35, and I don't really see it. He's one of my favorite players in the league. I seem to have him every night, but I think I'm going to get off the Bobby Portis train today. Along with the Jabari Parker, there's just too many guys healthy with Satoransky coming back. I just don't see it. I guess I would lean Portis before Parker. Parker's too inconsistent, and his minutes are going to be down now with everyone coming back from break healthy. So if you're loving the Jabari Parker train, more power to you, but it's not for me. LaMarcus Aldridge, if he plays, another guy with a really good price tag. He was questionable this morning. I don't know if that's changed, but I think he was upgraded to probable. He had an illness, so he should be good to go. Jaren Jackson Jr. is questionable. If he misses, a guy like Joakim Noah or Ivan Robb could both become very interesting plays. I know I'll be including Noah in my center spot. There was one other guy I wanted to talk about here quick. Domantas Sabonis. If Miles Turner were to miss, I think Miles Turner's actually got a good chance of missing this game. I think he's dealing with a sore something. I don't know if it was an ankle or a foot, but something was sore. So we'll have to keep an eye on Domantas Sabonis. He could become super chalky today. Could become really chalky if Turner is out. It's just something to be aware of. Center position. I love Towns today. Don't see anyone stopping him on New York. New York's in active tank mode. They want to lose this game. They want all the Zion Williamson with a mild sprained knee or whatever he's got going on and breaking shoes. But they want some Zion. Towns should just eat against these guys if it doesn't blow out. Like some Towns and Teague from the Timberwolves if you want to get into stacking. Drummond will include as well. Grades out really well. He's got 100 rank. Team's bad against centers. He's played very well against Atlanta in his career. So give me some of him. Anthony Davis, we're going to exclude for the next couple of games. He's got a really nice price tag, but 25 minutes Anthony Davis, I don't know if he can get there. Vucevic against Chicago. Again, another center that grades out really well. I think this game's going to actually be a little bit higher scoring. I just kind of have a feeling on that. The pace isn't all that great, but two bad teams. He plays very well against Chicago. If you look in the recency log here of the last 5, we'll include him. Jokic against Dallas. Dallas. Yeah, we got to include him because they don't have much of a center option right now. He's all over the board with them. He's still Jokic, though, so we'll keep him in there. Outside of that, nothing down here that I'm really loving. I'm good on DeAndre Jordan against Towns. Towns is actually pretty good defensively, so I'm good there. Let's get into the lineup optimizer. Here's DraftKings. This is what it spits out for you. Collison, DeRozan, Gordon, Griffin, Turner, Bazemore, Hardaway, Sabonis. Well, we're not going to play Sabonis. And let's try and get Vus in here. And then we'd have to cut 3K. Let's get this guy out of here. Let's go down and get some... Not a lot of values opened up yet. A lot of people are healthy. Let's see if we can squeeze the lineup in here. I don't think we can. Well, we could, but it's looking uber puntable. So we want Collison. We'll lock him. Let's get Drummond in here, and let's go get Gordon. Let's lock these guys in here. We'll lock in Bazemore and Sabonis, and we'll give it a quick little random. So this is another lineup that spits out here. Lamb, I like him quite a bit. Something like this. Collison, DeRozan, Lamb, Gordon, Drummond, Bazemore, Gay. We could get up from Gay if we wanted to and go get Ivan Robb, something like that. You could go down from Robb and get something like that. I think Noah's got only center eligibility, so something like that with Robb with the dual eligibility really fits well. Leaves 100 on the board, so you could play around with something like that. On FanDuel, sorry FanDuel players, I forgot to include you in our video yesterday. I was so amped up to include everybody in here, but just skipped over FanDuel. I don't play much over there, but let's go get Bazemore. Let's lock him in. He makes for an interesting punt. I like to play two guys in the 3,500 to 4,700 range with the punt availability on FanDuel. Teague's a little more expensive over here, so I don't like him as much. Someone like Reggie Jackson makes more sense over here to me. Reggie Jackson, Collison. We get up from Monk. Let's get DeRozan over here. Jabari Parker's not dirt cheap anymore over here. Kawhi, don't really like Kawhi that much. Maybe someone like Otto Porter over here. Sabonis we like. FanDuel, we could leave Vucevic in over here. Vucevic or Towns. I kind of like Towns a little better. Get down from Portis. Get yourself something like I don't know. You could go get, let's see here. What would we want to play around with here? Nothing down there. Let's make a Blake Griffin lineup over here. Get Blake Griffin. We can get down off of Towns and go get, we could get Noah, Sabonis, and we could go up here and get Kawhi back if we wanted him, but I kind of like Bogdanovich in there. Something like this on FanDuel. It's got quite a few Pacers, but the Pacers are in a really good matchup. But something like that on FanDuel with Noah and Bazemore potentially being your low drop. I don't like using a low drop center on FanDuel as much because you only get one of them. So you could pay up here and then you could low drop down here with somebody like, I don't know. You could play around with it a little bit, but kind of what I'm looking at if I'm playing on FanDuel. I might throw in an entry or two over there today. All right, let's get back to DraftKings. Let's get into the mass lineup generator. We'll use my player pool. Remember, you can get all these tools 30 days for $1. Click in my link in the description below. You'll also get access to my custom player pool, which you can see has 22 players in it right now currently. It'll change throughout the day, though, so you can get a list of what I'm looking at and the guys that I'm looking to play. We're going to be playing 20 lineups today, so let's just run 20 quick and see what we get. While this is going on, please hit the thumbs up button. Really helps out my channel, gets more people viewing my channel, helps me out. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already. We're going to be doing a giveaway at 250 subscribers. We're going to give away a sweet Yeti tumbler. If you don't have a Yeti tumbler, or if you haven't used one, they're awesome. That was the inspiration of my name for the channel. So I really like that. Got my little avatar guy tied with them. So it's kind of a cool little thing to build before making the channel. So here we go. We'll see our lineups here. Projected points, you can sort it by this. As you can see, Teague grades out really well. This is a pretty solid lineup outside of Ish Smith for me, but I probably wouldn't play Aldridge and DeRozan together. I'd probably just pick one. In this case, probably DeRozan, but something like this: Levine, Wright, Vucevic, Danny Green, Sabonis, DeRozan, Teague. Like that quite a bit. Drummond, Favors, Sabonis, DeRozan, Young, Bazemore. This is a pretty solid lineup too. Leaves 500 on the board too if you want to get up from Favors and get somebody that you like. Alrighty, guys, there we have it. We'll do a quick 20 lineup crunch on FanDuel as well, just so we can make sure that all of our FanDuel users are happy. I don't play over there as much, so don't blame me. But we'll run 20 for you on FanDuel. We'll leave it a little more random, just because I don't play over here as much. So. If you have any questions for me about anything that I'm doing, any of the tools that I'm using, how they work, leave them in the comments section below. I will get back to you immediately, usually within like 5 minutes. I'm pretty active on my phone during the day, so FanDuel, here's what it spits out for something that you could get to. Here's a kind of a stars and studs lineup with scrubs and studs lineup here. That gets you up to almost 300 projection, which is pretty impressive. So here's FanDuel if you want to look at it over here. Some more lineups for you. As you can see here, they have Vucevic with a higher projection than Jokic, just something to keep an eye on when you're making lineups. I want to see what they have Drummond projected for, because he's another guy that I was very interested in. See if we can find him. Drummond's not popping on FanDuel. There he is. He's got he's more expensive over here. That makes sense. Alrighty, guys. Well, you have yourselves a wonderful Thursday afternoon. Have a great day. Thank you. Goodbye.